Yeah, it took me 2.5 years to learn it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can imagine.
Yeah. And some of the moves, like I'd have to have like 6 lessons or a couple places that it took me 6 hour-long lessons to get it.
Yeah, I did not understand the scope. So now I have a whole different appreciation of it.
Yeah, but whether you want to commit to it, I mean, it takes quite a commitment to learn it. You can do a short one. You can do uh, the first section, and then you can. There's a way that you can repeat the first section on the do it in this direction, then do it that 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 direction, just the first section. And that's a real cool way. It's actually very meditative because you don't have as much details to think about. And we did it once. It was a rainy day. We did it on the stage in Gong Park in the band shell. And the women did it. I think we did it 9 times around. 1, 2, 3. The guys just split. They'd had it, and the women stayed in and did it. And it was like this. It's like this long meditation, doing this, just these uh, one direction 4 times, and then doing it again. You can do it anytime. Two. I think 2 times is a nice time around, or 4 times, or 8. You can just play with it. It's all fun.
Yeah, you'll have to point out when we get to that point, as we're learning the whole sequence. But when we get to that point, we'll have to do an episode where you show us how to do it all the way around.
Excellent. It's a
Yeah.
really nice thing because I have a friend. He fell off a roof and didn't practice for 2 years, recovering. And then he said, "I only know like a little bit." And I said, "You don't need to know. You just know that little bit and keep doing it, because any one move has all the energy in it. You even the just the be even just a gathering basic. You could do that like 100 times. I'd be very bored, but you can do that. So any move is really fun. I never mind teaching and repeating because just every move is really fun. Feels good to move your body in that way.
So what is, like, why the 24 form, Chen form? What does that even mean for people who are complete novices?
Nobody I know has figured out exactly what they mean by one move of those 24. It seems it's called the 24, and then the 48, and then there's an 80, the 83, and there's a 71. And it reminds me of this joke my dad used to tell about the comedians going to the Friars Club in LA, the Friars Club comedians. And this guy comedian took his friend. He said, "Here, you'll enjoy it." And they go in, and they say, "Well, now it's time for the jokes." And the first one said, 22. Everyone laughs. The second one says 63. Everyone laughs. The other one says 84. Everyone laughs. And someone says 77. Dead silence. He says, "What happened there?" He says, "He never could tell a joke." Anyway, so you say the 24th, the 80th, it makes no sense. And then Master Zhang, our teacher, he went to China and he studied with his teacher, and he came back and he added 4 moves. So there was a 73, and then he added elbows and elbows and elbows and elbows, and then it was the 77. So I think you can make it up. But
Is there a reason that people start with this versus other forms? Is there something beneficial about this one, particularly for beginners?
Chen style uh, is beneficial. A lot of my friends in Chen style started out with a different style, a Yang style, which is very slow and very coordinated, and it's very beautiful. But I've done a Yang style form, and for like unbelievably 18 years. And I came and I looked at this form here, and I went and talked to the teacher, and I said, and he said, well, show me your form. And he said, well, you have no inside. I thought the inside is going to come. He said, that's what my teacher said, the inside will come. Well, after 18 years, where was it? And so then Master Zhang showed me how that you internally rotate the Danshan, that rotate from the center, and the center moves and it sends your arm out. The center comes back, it sends your arm out. So every move comes from your Danshan and your heart. You never just shoot an arm out. It's always integrated. And that was such a different concept that I knew right away this was something I wanted to do. Sometime we could even do the basics. There's two sets of basics because they really work on developing the Danshan, moving from the Danshan with cloud hands and a bunch of really fun exercises. But you have to do all of them 9 times, right? And with the form, I have this. I don't know if it's a monkey mind, but I get bored doing things 9 times. I can't make myself practice, but I love to practice the form. So I've mostly practiced just forms. I've never really focused on the basics unless I'm teaching, which I shouldn't admit because you should all do the basics. They're really important. But I got by with just it got me practicing, and practicing is how you develop the chi, and that's why you need to preferably a little bit every day because the chi accumulates, and when you go back the next day you're already starting with the feeling of more energy inside to grow with. But if you just do it once for 3 hours on the weekend and then 3 hours in the next weekend, it all dissipates and you don't have that slow accumulation of energy, which serves you, because I still feel more energy all the time as I unblock different places and wake up different places in my body. Questions?
Okay, I don't think I have any other questions. It's kind of nice to have this sort of, the philosophy of it is actually helpful.
Yeah, it's and it was funny because when I first found this class, I kind of snuck in the back and I was doing it, and some arrogant 30-year-old guy came over and said, what are you doing? You're not in this class. You don't know what you're doing. You're doing it all wrong. I just, but I stuck with it. But I made it a point. Anytime someone watched or came in, I was kind and welcoming because I wanted to start spreading that kind of energy. Because lots of times, especially, I hate to call names, but the guys get into martial arts and being strong and being tough. And my teacher, he wanted to test how good someone's Tai Chi is. He says, come over here. I make you lie down. And he'd flip them over. And so he said, I won. I'm the best. Well, I like to feel the energy, and feel it going through my body and making me smile and making me happy. And it does work as a martial art, but come on, people have guns and bludgeons and baseball bats. It's really not going to be that much effective in your life to have a great martial arts understanding. But I can push over a 6-foot guy. I mean, I have done it. They're always, once they know I'm doing it, I can't do it as easily. But I'm pretty strong. Well, I think you really have to fall in love with Tai Chi. It's no point otherwise. It should be fun, enjoyable. You should look at it and you say, "Oh, that looks like fun. I'd like to do that." And then you do it and you say, "Oh, that feels good. I'd like to keep doing that." And then someone shows you a move and you say, "Oh, that was interesting. It was really hard, but it's so interesting. And now I think I have a feeling for it. And what's the next move?" And you get hooked on what the next move is, because each move is really, really interesting. And it takes patience and it takes practice. And it's kind of catch-22 at first, because you can't practice until you know the move a little, but you can't know the move unless you practice. But practicing is what builds the internal health aspects. It builds the energy inside. It opens up the pathways for the circulation of blood and energy to flow so that your body naturally tunes itself. And it's just practicing is important to stimulate the chi, and practicing every day. It's really great because if you like the form, the first you have a little move like this and the three circles, and we've done those anyway. You have three circles, so you do it for like a minute and do it like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Then you get this move to add to it, and so now you have like maybe a whole minute of movement. And then gradually you work up till you get the 24, and you have like about 10 minutes more or less. And you have 10 minutes of move. It takes a long time. It took me a year and a half to get those 10 minutes. So they're very precious moments. But it sneaks up on you. And then after you do that for a while, you say, well, I've heard meditation, 30, 40 minutes is really nice. So then there's longer forms, but the longer forms have a lot of repetition. Once you've got this basic 24 form, the rest of it goes a lot faster. Mm. But I like the 40-minute form, 30 to 40, because I like to be in that space for that amount of time. Mm. But I didn't want to do that until I had the 24 form under my belt, finished it, and waited like 2 years to get it in part of me. And then I was ready to go on. So, and there's always something else. And there's weapons. I could do swords, and I just started a fan, which I didn't finish. But, there's sabers and things like that. And I kind of liked not having weapons. I liked it that you had everything in you needed for Tai Chi. You didn't need to bring anything else. And so that's favorite. But if you want to do a sword form, you can go anywhere and pick up a stick and do it. So that's fun too. There were some old guys coming in the park, like my age, but I'm not old. So, but they were coming with their sticks, and I thought, oh, those cute old guys are in there. And then they started doing this stick Tai Chi form, and they were jumping around and waving their stick, and it was pretty funny because we just thought, oh, here are these old codgers, just dragging along with their canes.